Hello, my wonderful physics students. It's me, Mr. Basil, and I'm here to explain pivot just a little bit more because I think in class I realized that there may be some people that were a little bit confused as far as what was going on here. So this is just a little bit more time so that way I can just kind of go through things a little bit slower without the rush of trying to get through the end of class. So if you're stuck, here's a video for you, and I hope that this helps clear things up just a little bit. So, all that this is trying to get you guys familiar with the tools that are in Pivot. Okay, all the directions are laid out here. So again, just go ahead and read them. So, in this first one, it says, let's try making measurements from this video to help familiarize yourself with these tools. Start by using the video player controls to advance the video until the first frame of the ball is visible. Okay, so you might be looking at that going, what the heck, how do I do this? So you could play around and try to figure it out on your own, but the directions are right here. So to control the video, you can use the screen controls or keyboard controls. Screen controls are click the play pause button to start or stop the video. Click the frame advance or frame back buttons to move one frame at a time. Click and drag the scrub bar to move the video forward or back. Okay, so this is the scrub bar. Okay, so I can move that back and forth, and we want it so that way the ping pong ball is just coming out of the tube. Okay, and let's say you get close, and then we can use these little buttons here to advance forward and backward. So there we go. We did it. Yay! Then it says click on the tool button and then click on the ruler. So that's this, and then I can move this around to get measurements. And it says use the ruler to measure the distance from the right edge of the ball to the left edge of the pop can. So right edge of the ball to the left edge. And then you're going to choose which answer is closest there. Or here. And then you're going to use the stopwatch. Advance the video frame until you would like to use, for the frame you'd like to use for t equals 0. Then you're going to click the reset button to set the stopwatch to 0. So now we want the stopwatch to measure how long it will take for the ball to move from the muzzle of the ping pong ball bazooka to the pop can. Okay, so where it's at right now, I'm going to pop out my stopwatch here. I'm going to 0 it. And then I'm going to advance until it just hits the soda can. Okay, so either of those two, I think that one, it looks like it's starting to crunch it right there. So maybe one of those two is what we would do. Okay, moving on. Those ones are pretty straightforward. This is the part that I think most people are getting stuck on, which is the data and make a graph section. So the graphing directions one, there's nothing for you to complete, but it has all of the detailed instructions, excuse me, for you to do here. Okay, so I'm just going to skip down to where we're actually going to type in stuff. It says gradually advance the video, recording the position and time in the graph at least 15 times. You should get a wide range of positions and times, starting from when the ping pong ball is visible until it leaves the frame. Okay, so it's just like the first one, where I'm going to get this so that way the ping pong ball is just coming out of the tube. So right there. And then we're going to have to fill in this data table, but the question is, how do we do that? Well, if we go back up here, it says the first step is to add titles to your data table. Click on the gray boxes to add information. And then we're going to make a graph of a position versus time graph. So we're going to need one column for time and one column for position. Your data table should look something like this in the end. Okay, so again, you just come down here. The first one is going to be for time. So I'm just going to click here and then I'm going to write time. The units are seconds. The variable we would just say is t. I think on the thing it just said s for seconds, but I did it that way. So time, and then let's see, the other one says position, and then centimeters and x. I spelled position wrong, but hey, autocorrect, right? Okay, so we have that done. And it says, since there's a new copy of the video table, make sure you set up the ruler and watch similar to what we did in the getting started section. Okay, so I'm gonna have this here and stopwatch. I'm gonna reset that to 0 like how we did before. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna move this over because I'm picky and just make sure it's setting there. And it says gradually advance the video and record the position and time on your data table for at least 15 different times. We should get a wide range of positions and times, starting from when it's first visible until it leaves the frame. Okay, so here I'd say it's at 0 and 0. So the first one I could write is 0 seconds, 0 position, and you'll notice that a data point pops up on my graph. Okay, so I'm going to advance 1 frame. And I'm going from the front edge of the ping pong ball. So this is going to take maybe some estimation, and you can always move this down. So 5, 6, it looks like 7-ish centimeters. So I'm going to write 7 centimeters. And then on the time, it says 0.00038 seconds. All right, 0, 0. How many zeros was it? 3. Okay. And there we go. So now I have 2 data points. And so you're just going to keep doing that. Mark 1 and then mark down that time. But then eventually you're going to run out of room because you're looking for 15 different data points. So I'm just going to hit enter on my keyboard and then a new column pops up. So you can do that right away, or you can just do that as you go. But this is how many data points you should have. Okay. And then eventually your graph is going to look something like this, or it should. Okay. So hold on a second. All right. So I just made up a graph. I just put in random numbers. You're going to have numbers more like the, these really small numbers and then the centimeters here. I just made up some stuff so that way I could show you this part. Again, the directions are right here. So after you have your graph, you're going to label your axes. So we want to call the y-axis, or the up and down one. We want that to be, on here it says position, and then down here it says time, but it looks like it's already set up that way. So we're good there. And then it says to turn on align of best fit, click the gear or settings button and then choose curve fits and then pick linear fit. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to click on here, curve fits, and then I'm going to click linear and then done. And oh, look at that. I've got a graph and I've got a whole bunch of information down here, but we'll figure out that stuff later. And then the rest of this just talks about like there will be some stuff in the future where you'll have a locked section. So this says, do you understand that once you lock this section, you will not be able to change your answers? I'm going to say yes, submit my answer, and then lock my answer and continue because I can't access this section until I do that. So lock answer and continue. And all of this says is just, hey, notice that you can't return to your answers now. Yeah, I can't return to these. But I can return to these because these ones aren't locked. Like I could delete that if I wanted to. Okay, that's all. I hope that this makes a little bit more sense now and you're able to finish your assignment. Email me if you have any questions. Thanks for listening and have a good day.